Talk about, just before we get into the Women of Distinction Gala, talk about what you were nominated for.
So I was nominated in the categories of mentorship and entrepreneurship and innovation. And I was a recipient for entrepreneurship and innovation and nominated for mentorship.
So that was through the recipient for the entrepreneurship, that was through your work with your company, correct?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, through my work with my company, and I think, that and just a combination of, the work that I've done through the company. Yeah.
Talk about being a recipient and even a nominee in general of that category, entrepreneurship, businesswoman, right?
Yeah.
What did that feel like to you?
Yeah, it felt really, I'm not gonna lie, it feels nice. It's nice. It is nice to be recognized for the work that you do, and especially when you are an entrepreneur, because many times, you're working solo and you're working, maybe you're not like completely solitary, but like it's your journey. It's different than always working with a big team and being a part of a big team. So it's nice to be recognized, and I think the most meaningful thing to me about being the recipient of that award was that I was nominated by my team at work and by past directors from different boards in the community that I had worked with.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So that must have really showed a sense of the difference you were making, and actually, and the impact you were making as a boss as well, right?
Well, that was the biggest thing for me, because I'm always worried. Am I a good employer?
Yeah.
Am I a good employer? Am I a good leader? Am I fair? It's important to me that I am a fair and good employer, and and offer a nice environment to work in. So that was really nice. That I had no idea that I was nominated until I got the phone call and then asked who nominated me, and it was everybody from the office.
So, but being a businesswoman in a community like this, or in a time like this too, it's still very important to be recognized as a leader in business, isn't it?
As a woman,
yes.
I mean, in general, it is, and also, as a woman, there's still a big gap, and some people wonder why it's necessary that we even have a gala that's just for women. Well, it's still needed, unfortunately. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's still needed. There is still a very big gap, and we're doing a much better job than we used to do, but we still have a ways to go. And so I think, and it's nice to network and get together, and the camaraderie that comes with other like-minded women, and that sort of energy that people hold space for in a collective environment with all those women and who are happy for one another. And that's pretty special in itself. And even just, it's nice to just be nominated.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like,
I really, honestly, it was lovely to be the recipient, but I really didn't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just happy to be nominated. And YWCA, Women of Distinction, is a nationally branded fundraiser throughout Canada with other YWCAs. And it's a pretty big deal. There's some fairly significant, famous Canadian, like iconic women who have won. So even just to be nominated
puts you in that same category with all these other great women
pretty
nationwide,
lovely,
right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've been, of course, through Women of Distinction, you've been involved, but you have been involved with the YWCA as an organization in general, and you touched on that a little bit, and touched on the relevance of YWCA and the Women of Distinction today. Can you further expand on, I mean, yes, we are better, but why do we still need an organization like YWCA to put things like Women of Distinction, to put those entrepreneurial women in business courses and things like that? Yeah,
I think it's, I would say that the biggest factor is taking away the intimidation factor. There's many women who are not intimidated and would just, go to any course that's men and women, and it's not a big deal. But there is, women have specific things that, whether it's self-esteem issues or whether it's challenges of trying to work-life balance with being a parent and being in business or getting back out into the work field after being a parent, like those are specific issues that only women can understand. So it is nice to have an organization that is there for women in all different periods and turning points in their lives, and that is part of the vision and the motto of YWCA Muskoka, is that it's for turning points. And I think too, it's so important to have like the YWCA, any YWCA is really important, but it's really important here in particular because we have a large district. We have, we're huge in terms of square kilometers. We can't possibly have like one central location that people go to. So the model here is, we are a YWCA without walls, taking programs to people all across the district, onto First Nations reserves, everywhere, so that it's accessible. And that in itself, that's an inclusive model, right? Because the people who need it most, maybe transportation is a barrier, maybe money is a barrier, maybe permission is a barrier. Whether you are a child or an adult, maybe permission is a barrier. And so maybe, that might help that a little bit, to be able to be a part of a program. It's a fantastic model in terms of the delivery and how it's delivered without walls. Also, too, just the cross-section of programs and the fact that it does bring all walks of life. It's not a program that's specifically for somebody who has, a master's, or somebody who doesn't even have their grade 8 education, or it's for everybody. So what I think is magical about it is that whether it's a children's program or one of the adult programs, that the cross-pollination that happens with people you would probably never, maybe you would never give the chance to, like the time of day to.
Right.
And to be able to make some great new friends and kind of open your own horizons a little bit. I think that the relationships that are built through the Y are lovely. There's something about the YW, the model, the inclusiveness, that there's a comfort and a camaraderie, and everybody becomes each other's allies and cheerleaders, instead of where if they met them on the street, they may not even talk to them. And I think any opportunity in any community where you have that sort of an opportunity for people to open their eyes a little bit more,
it's a good thing.
It's a good thing.